It's a bit like the captain of the ship saying, "Hey, this voyage is exciting, but watch out for icebergs." That brings us to the big question. Is the AI boom the next big thing, or just a trillion-dollar bubble ready to pop like a cheap party balloon? For the fun of irony, I'm gonna make this video with AI only. Today, we're diving into the AI frenzy, from sky-high stocks to insider warnings, to uncover if this is a tech revolution or a slick real-world orchestra conducted by some shadowy players. From 9/11 conspiracies to COVID plots, that'll make you question who's really pulling the strings. Let's kick off with the big picture, the stock market's wild ride. Back in March 2020, amid the COVID chaos, the S&P 500 cratered to around 2,237 points, like a bad dream where your portfolio vanishes overnight. Fast forward to early October 2025, and it's hovering near 6,715. That's more than tripling in value, as if the market chugged a growth serum. A lot of that lift comes from a handful of tech giants riding the AI wave, turning investor FOMO into sky-high valuations. But here's the analogy with a twist. This isn't like discovering buried treasure. It's more like a game of musical chairs where share prices keep climbing because everyone's convinced the music won't stop. One eager buyer pushes the price up, and suddenly it's boom times, until it isn't. To figure out if it's solid or shaky, we need to look beyond the tickers at the real stuff. If we're sinking fortunes into tech that mostly generates clever cat memes, it might be time to question the party. Even the folks at the center of this storm are raising eyebrows. Take Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO. Who's been upfront about the froth. In recent chats, he's called the AI scene a bubble where people make some dumb capital allocations from time to time and warn that overinvestment could lead to losses, while underinvesting might mean missing out on revenue. He even compared it to past tech bubbles, noting that while AI's potential is real, the hype has folks throwing money around like confetti at a wedding. It's a bit like the captain of the ship saying, "Hey, this voyage is exciting, but watch out for icebergs." Altman's not panicking. He's raised billions himself, but his candor suggests the enthusiasm might be outpacing the tech's readiness. If the guy building the rocket is hedging, maybe we should too. Nobody wants to miss the AI train. It's less about wins and more about dodging the dinosaur label. This isn't new. Past crazes saw buzzwords double valuations overnight. Venture capitalists eat up slick pitches over working products. Goldman Sachs predicts spending growth will slow soon. But for now, ego and fear spin the wheels. In those AI stole my job tales, mostly post-COVID hiring bloat. Lockdown led to overstaffed IT firms saving cash on remote work, now cutting pandemic liabilities as workflows optimize. Pride trumps spreadsheets every time. Bro, under the hood, this boom is a beast of metal and megawatts. Tech heavyweights like Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Meta are on track to drop around $315 to $320 billion in 2025 on AI infrastructure. Think data centers and superchips, up from hefty sums last year. Worldwide, Gartner projects AI spending hitting $1.5 trillion this year alone. That's not chump change. It's like bankrolling a small country's economy for algorithms that might just suggest better email replies. Then there's the power gulp. Data centers could see electricity demand spike 165% by 2030 from 2023 levels, per Goldman Sachs, with AI driving much of it. The US grid, a vintage model from decades ago, is straining with slim reserves. Prices are up, sneaking into your bills, while spots for new centers are scarcer than front-row concert tickets. China? Their setup's more modern and ready to flex. It's a classic case of ambition outrunning the infrastructure. Exciting, but potentially shocking. The ROI reality. Now for the punchline. Where's the payoff? A 2025 MIT report on the Gen AI divide found that 95% of companies tinkering with generative AI are seeing zero return on investment. It's like buying a fancy espresso machine that brews great demo cups but spits out sludge in daily use. Demos dazzle, but real-world workflows? They often glitch like a bad Wi-Fi connection. The winners keep it simple, with models acing short jobs but fumbling the long game. Think coding assistants that introduce bugs faster than you can debug. Updates break things overnight, turning innovation into improvisation. 96% of execs report no ROI, highlighting the gap between hype and hustle. Hilarious in hindsight, but a wake-up call for wallets. What comes after? Bubbles don't destroy everything, they just clear the deck. History shows corrections weed out the weak, leaving sturdy survivors, like how the dot-com bust paved the way for today's internet giants. For AI, the glitzy gadgets might fade, but the boring backbone, chips, grids, tools, could thrive, turning raw potential into everyday utility. It's not doom, it's a reset. Just like the dot-com bubble, housing market crisis, COVID-19, etc. The tech sticks around, just humbler and handier. Keep an eye out. The real revolution might be the quiet one. Decades, tough lessons, bubbles, beliefs, and brewing storms. History's littered with these reality checks. Wild rides that humble us and reset the course. From the 1630s Dutch tulip mania, where bulbs fetched fortunes before crashing like overpriced NFTs, to the 1920s stock frenzy that sparks the Great Depression, and Japan's 1980s asset bubble that deflated into decades of stagnation. Fast forward, the 2001 Twin Towers attacks fueled endless inside job theories, questioning if extremists acted alone or shadows pulled strings, eroding trust in institutions overnight. Then, 2007 to 8's housing meltdown, spun as a real crisis or elite engineered wealth grab, exposed how greed can tank global economies and breed cynicism. Still, we can see who got the bailouts and who suffered the most in the end. For Gen Z and millennials, the 2020s hit closer. COVID's lab leak whispers and vaccine control chip plots, the 2020 elections' fraud fever dreams, and social media as a mind-manipulating matrix, all amplifying division via algorithms that reward outrage. Layer in AI hypes over promises and wokeism's 2020 peak, from Floyd protests to corporate DEI mandates, now waning amid backlash and fatigue. By 2025, it's a crash course in hype versus harmony. But here's the kicker. This could all collide into the decade's biggest blockbuster event, slamming the US, Europe, and the world at full force sooner than we think. Maybe the second half of 2027, exploding into leap year 2028. Who's ready? So what now? I'll say, keep questioning, because when you say it loudly, the sheep start listening to you. If this sparks some thoughts, hit like, share it around, and subscribe. Catch you next time. Stay sharp.